Hello. This is day 4 of our lockdown, Monday evening. And I was feeling pretty gross. My back was really hurting. My home office setup was probably not that great for good desk posture. So straight after I finished work, I went to do my stair runs, and I did 5 today, and I already feel like I've improved from my other day. So I wanted to just quickly add a few more ideas that I've picked up on about working out at home. Firstly, previously I said do the small steps first, like get your water ready and have your exercise gear on. And these are important because at home you have so many distractions. You have, your couch, you've got Netflix, you've got people around, you've got your family. So it's important to just start, and that's with the small steps getting changed. I've listened to a bunch of podcasts, and one I listened to recently was about setting up good habits, especially with exercising. And one woman, she had kids, she had family. As soon as the family and kids were up, it was virtually impossible for her to find time to exercise and go for a run. And running was her thing, but it was just not possible. There was no time in the day as soon as the kids got up to do that. So she knew she had to do it first thing in the morning, and this is early. This is like getting up, I can't remember the time, but I think it was like, they say 5 a.m. She had to get up at 5 a.m. and basically get out the door, otherwise it wasn't going to happen. And one thing she did to make this possible was, instead of getting up and getting dressed into her exercise gear, she went to bed wearing her exercise gear, which might sound a little bit weird, but it basically helped her to eliminate that step of having to get changed. First thing in the morning when you're tired, you basically can't think, and the last thing you do is want to get changed into gear to exercise. So she was already wearing the gear, she literally just had to wake up, and that was the step that helped her maintain her running and set up that habit. So that is one tip, and just having the ease of your exercise gear ready. Maybe if you know you're exercising in the morning, just have your exercise gear, out on your dresser drawer, your shoes in the right spot. Make it easy. I don't know if you've noticed, the days we have Kung Fu, I get to class, I get changed super quick, and that's mainly, it's not because I'm Superman and I can just get changed super quick. It's because normally I wear clothes on my Kung Fu days that are easy to get off and on, or sometimes I'm even wearing my Kung Fu pants to work, and it's because they can transfer between smart casual and exercise gear. I'm not saying you have to wear your Kung Fu gear to work or the rest of the day, but these little things do help, and it just makes it easier. The second thing is having manageable goals. You can have a big long-term goal like running a marathon, but you need to work backwards and have the small steps ready for you to achieve. And once you start and you've done the small steps, it's easier to add on. So another example was Guy. This is another podcast. I'll try to send out the podcast links later. But the story was of a guy who was in his 50s, who was getting older, and he knew he wanted to maintain his muscle mass and his strength. Because as you get older, you start to lose muscle, and it's more important to maintain your healthy body. So he was also a busy guy, worked all the time, had no time, couldn't get to the gym, so he was like, okay, I'm going to try to do push-ups every day. Every day I'm going to do 2 push-ups. He didn't want to do 10, he didn't want to do 20, he was like, no, what's manageable? Let's just do 2. And 2 push-ups takes less than 5 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds if you're doing it slow, but So he decides to do 2 push-ups. And if he can do 2 push-ups, he's naturally, if you have time, you'd do more. But he's always just going to do minimum 2 push-ups because he knows he can do it. And secondly, he had to find a time in his day where he could always do 2 push-ups. And he had to figure it out, and he decided the only time in his day to do the 2 push-ups was straight after he's gone to the toilet. So I don't know his specific logistics of that, but he'd go to the toilet, and as soon as he finished, he'd do 2 push-ups. That also sounds weird, but that was a way for him to know he would always have to do his push-ups. He was always going to go pee. Sometimes depending on how often you pee, every time he'd do 2 push-ups. So that could easily add up to 10 push-ups if you're peeing 5 times a day. And he managed to stick to that habit because it just became second nature. And I think that is brilliant. And he continued to do this, and people noticed. People noticed he was looking stronger, and they were like, what is your secret? He didn't tell them, he just said he was starting to do push-ups. But that was his way of maintaining his good habit of exercising 2 push-ups every time he went for a pee. No one saw him do it. On the days he was busy, he did only 2. On the days he had more time, you'd naturally keep doing more because you feel good and you get stronger. So those are my 2 tips. Do the small steps, have your gear ready and easy for you to transition from getting your gear on or already having it on. And 2, set small goals that are achievable. That's all for me. I'm going to continue my workout for today with another HIIT workout, and this was a nice break for me after my stair runs. So let me know how you guys are doing, and have an awesome Monday night.